Dreams do not have a filter that your normal, polite, waking self puts up.
Welcome to the hidden meaning of dreams with Sweet Georgia Pam.
It does matter what the dreamer themselves associates with those things that come up in the dream.
Spiritual director, dream expert, author, and educator, Sweet Georgia Pam is here to remind us that dreams are the answer. They're always with you. They know you better than you know yourself, and they're always trying to tell you the truth.
There's some back and forth here between you and some awareness.
And now your host, Melissa Carter.
SweetGeorgiaPam.com is the website where you can find all about Pam. She's got a guide there called 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall if you can't remember your dreams, because I always feel bad for the people who are like, oh, that sounds great. I'd love to have my dream interpreted, but I can't remember what I dreamt. And then Pam's on social media. Sweet Georgia Pam is her handle on all the social medias. You can DM her there too if you want to reach out to her about a dream. How are you?
Hey, love, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. So I'm very proud that I have a son now who, on more than one occasion, will wake up and say, I had fantastic dreams.
Oh, I love that.
So the fact that he wants to tell me his dreams is so sweet, because that's what I did with my mother. And the fact that he is now doing it with me, where it's not me asking him, it's him just saying, hey, can I, do you mind if I tell you my dream? And I'm like, absolutely.
Gosh. Oh, that's a mama moment where your heart just melts and you're like, yay. I'm the most important person right now.
I know. Well, and I love the fact that he is in tune with them, and he, because it is entertaining. I mean, we talk about how dreams can help you, but it's fascinating. It's still fascinating to me that we even do it, that our brain works to where we have a whole life while we're asleep. But the other morning, because normally with my son, he will either crawl into bed with me first thing in the morning to wake me up, or on the weekend, sometimes he spends the night in my room. He was in my bed and he said, hey, can I tell you about my dreams? And I just happened to have my phone nearby, and I happened to just press record because I thought, let's have Pam interpret one of his dreams.
Oh my God.
Is that okay?
Such a fun idea. It's perfectly fine with me.
Now, in broadcasting, if you don't know, by law, you have to let the person know you're recording them. I must tell you, I'm not sure if I informed him I was recording him, so I think I did it illegally. But as his guardian, I approve of the recording. Okay, so
you'll sign a consent form.
Yeah, he'll sign one later.
Started at recess. There's multiple of us. It was not just my class, but there's multiple of us.
Whoa, cool.
But they're all different. They're not their skin color was different, like their clothes were different.
Okay.
So then there was just a portal that just randomly spawned. I don't know what that's about, but no, we decided to go in it. We just weren't sure what was in it, but we just decided to go in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of my classmates went back together. But then that also got smushed again all into me. So it was just me, like how I look now. Just me. So then I got out and I was in Minecraft.
For those who couldn't understand what he was saying, basically he said he was at recess with his friends, and they were all like multiplicity, or what was that movie back in the day where it was more than one of was it multiplicity? Yeah, I think it was okay. Yeah. So basically he was saying that his friends were all multiple people of his friends and multiple of him. Then they went all into a portal. And once he was in the portal, his friends slammed together and became just one. And then they slammed into him and became one. So it was all these people, and slowly they decreased to it just being him. And I thought that was such a neat dream for an 8-year-old. But anyway, so there's his dream. He's not here for you to ask questions, but
no, but I'm sure I can pick your brain too if I need to. But okay. So let me talk first about children and dreams, because I have learned some new information about it. There's a recent book that has hit the markets that is called the Neurocognitive Theory of Dreaming. And it's this dream researcher who basically looked at all of the research we have about dreams so far based on, the only way we can research dreams is through storytelling and reporting, self-reporting. So he looked at all of those studies, and then he looked at all the neuroimaging studies that have been done for neuropsychology and for medical purposes. And he just overlaid those to see what he could determine about dreams. The theory that he has put forth is that there is something in our brains called the default network, which is this system of this group of parts of our brain that are most active when we are being introspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not focused on anything in the external world. We're in like that mind wandering state, or we're thinking about the past, or we're thinking about the future, and we're being just self-reflective. And the theory is that that's the part of the brain that is active when we're sleeping. Okay. Here's why that's important for the children piece. The default network in our minds generally becomes adult-like around the age of 9 to 13.
Okay.
And what that means is that dreams become more complex, like you can have more complex imagery and more narration can happen in dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So that children between the ages of 9 to 13, and you said your son is 8, so he's approaching that age, are experiencing more complex imagery in their dreams. And it might be why he was inspired to share it, because he's having this awe-inspiring experience that probably is unlike other dreams he's had in the past.
And he says that a lot lately. So it's funny you say that, because before I'd ask him maybe about, did you dream last night? Whatever. And it was like, oh, I don't remember. And then now it's like he's volunteering the information often of, wow, I had, these crazy dreams last night, or I had these wonderful dreams last night. So it's just recently that he's communicating that his dreams have changed.
Yeah. Before I had this information, the thought process is like, well, there's a lot more complexity going on in his waking life as emerging, once they pass 7 years old, they become like middle childhood age years, right? And then they're moving towards preteen and then teen. And so the waking life explanation of like, oh, there's a whole lot more going on. There's more complex emotions. But now we're looking at the brain activity and going, actually, the neural network that we think is in charge of the dreaming is maturing at this stage.
That's so neat.
And is now able to produce more complex imagery, like multiple versions of me and multiple of my classmates. What I find really fun too about this dream is that I think I heard that it starts at recess. And it ends in Minecraft.
And it continued on, but that became, he was playing Minecraft with one of his favorite YouTubers. And so I was like, no, we'll just stick with the portal part because that's so neat. But yes, he went from a real experience into a more of an online experience. Yeah.
Yes. And when you're dreaming, you're actually pulling all of those parts together, like memories from waking life gets pulled into the fantasies and the experiences in your imagination, like the imaginative play of Minecraft. So a portal opening up is bridging the connection between those parts of his world.
Well, and I was fascinated that there was something, like there was a division in the dream of, here we are at recess, and then he went through the portal, and then everybody merged into him, and then he went on to be part of a Minecraft world.
It makes me wonder if he is starting to be able to, oh God, this is like existential, but take the gifts of his friendships with him when he goes away from school. When he's not in school, he's able to call on the projections or the gifts that his bonds with his friends give to him. So he's now able to project those forward from himself. So that's why the characters merge into him.
Neat.
Yeah.
What about the multiple? I thought it was just so fascinating that when they were playing, it was several of him and several of the other kids.
I couldn't tell in the recording, so it was both. It was several
of him and several of them,
other kids and several of him. That is really interesting. I mean, if I'm 8, I'm maybe starting to recognize how I show up differently.
we're not too old to remember 8. We're not there yet. So when you say, I was like, what was I doing at 8?
I just want to say, for me, 8 was less than 40 years ago. Right. Much less, but technically less than 40 years ago.
I still have my cognitive powers to where I can remember 8 years old, but I'm thinking I can remember being 8, but I don't remember what I was doing on the playground. So
yeah. But I mean, it could, that's what comes to mind for me is like, I'm starting to be able to reflect on how I can show up differently, the different masks I wear.
Right.
And maybe all of those are out to play in this dreamscape.
Well, and two, if you think about being an elementary school kid on the playground, I mean, imagination is running wild. I mean, you're making up things, and I mean, everything is unstructured, and you have to create the structure and everything. So I just think it was really cool. And I love the insight on children's brains, and that, it's just fascinating. I find the whole thing fascinating. And like I said earlier, I'm pleased by his fascination with his own dreams, and will encourage him to continue to share those. Well,
the last thing maybe that I'll say about this too, that I was just thinking about, is how when you're at recess, you're 3-dimensional in the real world. When you're in Minecraft, everything's flat, everything's 2-dimensional, and you actually can't see the other people that you're interacting with, but they're all out there. So that could be another reason too of him. It's like an accordion for me of like, when I'm in Minecraft, the accordion is smushed together.
Yeah.
And everything is 2-dimensional on the screen. When I'm at recess, it's kind of the same. All my friends are still there. I'm still in that playful place. And there's a bunch of us in the same world, but it's 3-dimensional. The accordion gets spread out.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Well, look, if you have a dream, if your kids have dreams, if you want things interpreted, Pam's here to do it. And all you got to do is go online. Sweet Georgia Pam is her DM on the social medias. SweetGeorgiaPam.com is where you can find out not only those links, but all about her newsletter. 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall is her guide that is free for you. Is it free?
Yes. The 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall. Yes. Yeah, it's a free e-series. Absolutely. It's a free e-series for sure.
I said that. I was like, I've been saying that. I'm like, all of a sudden, it's one of those things that, when you write down a word and all of a sudden it doesn't look right, even though you've written it for 40 years. And just then I question myself, like, wait a second, is it free? I want to make sure I'm not taking money out of Pam's pocket.
Is that even true? It is now. Thanks, Melissa.
SweetGeorgiaPam.com is the website. Thank you, love. Appreciate it.
Oh, my God. Absolutely. Sweet dreams, everybody.
The content in this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Pam Muller is not a licensed mental health professional. If you or someone you know suffers from severe, persistent nightmares, please seek medical help.